All right, now this last guy we're going to talk about, I've been seeing his name come up because obviously when we talk about Jordan Davis, his counterpart, the guy that everybody is saying who is 1A or 1B is Travis Jones out of
Rising
UConn.
up the boards.
Absolutely. So he's the other guy that we're going to talk about. Now with him, we actually didn't say it on air. We said it off the air. But you watch him on tape, man, when he rushes the passer, he looks like Aaron Donald. To me, that's what I see when I watch him rush the passer.
A less sleek version.
Right, but because the thing is he's
taller
massive.
too.
Like
Yeah.
he's 6'5", 330, 333. He's a big body guy, but in terms of how violent and how twitchy he is coming off that ball when he's rushing, you see it. He's clubbing, he's ripping, like his burst, like him as a pass rusher, to me is where he shines. I think that's where you see the strength that he has because he's insanely strong as well. You see him ragdoll guys at times as well. Like it gets gory. I'm like, bro, this is nuts. How did you end up at UConn? I don't know. But that to me, man, it just jumps off the screen. And like I said, when you think of an Aaron Donald type and very different than the Jordan Davis style rushing. Remember with Jordan, what did I say? He's north and south. He's put him on the train tracks. He's bull rush. That's it. He might be a looper, but other than that, you want him being the first guy pushing the pile. Travis, man, this dude can push the pile. He can hit you with a little stutter club. He can rip. They even have him looping not just with D tackles. He loops and works with D ends. For me, I'm a little like, ooh, can you bump him out to the 3 to work with a D end? Like he'll be working with him from gory alignments as like an A-gap guy, but still can find ways to generate pressure because he is really athletic for a guy that size as well. Like that to me really pops off. And I also like that he has a very, very nasty demeanor when he is touching these offensive linemen. Any game I'm popping on, I'm just like, bro, when he decides to put his hand, Senior Bowl, you watch the Senior Bowl tape, the practices, yeah, he shouldn't be doing that to grown men. He should not. So for me, when I see that, I'm like, man, I like that a lot also. But not as bad of an issue, but it does pop up a little bit with Travis, the conditioning part as well. But he plays way more snaps. Like he is a 90% of the time out there guy. But he does have his little plays where when he gets a little tired, you see his technique start to slip. More so his pad level. He'll just get higher. But he plays way more. He's way better conditioned to me than Jordan Davis. But he's also 30 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
Which is why I was saying if we're going to go Jordan Davis, because I know what Travis looks like. I know how dominant Travis could be. I just personally think that Jordan
might get
has
better
more
value
size.
too because he might be going in the second or third round.
Right. I have him as second, third, but depending on how many people start to talk about him, he could easily be a guy that creeps up as well because he is like when you watch him rush that passer, bro, like big guys like that should not be able to do what he does.
He did. He looked like Aaron Donald light in a way.
Seriously, man. He should not be able to do that with that type of size, man.
Can I get to my Devin Bush thing? Or is there anything else you got?
Yeah, I had a couple more things though, man.
Go for it.
Yeah, so another thing that I would say with him is this. In terms of his fundamentals, I think that he is really fundamental sound. Like you watch him, hand placement always good. Like I said, outside of when he's tired, I always feel like he plays with good pad level as well. Told you in terms of not liking him as the looper when he's working with DNs. I think when he's a penetrator though, he's a handful. He can give you some issues. And I like the fact that he's productive against the run, very similar to Jordan Davis, which is why y'all kept sending those two names. Like a lot of people emailed and it was a ton of Jordan Davis, what about Travis? So it's like, I like that. And I can see why both of them are like that because Travis, he's another guy. When you're trying to run inside, hand placement, he's coming off making a tackle. Problem was he didn't have Nakobe Dean, Channing Tindall, and Quay Walker behind him. So it wasn't as pretty at times for that UConn defense. But he was a bright spot. And honestly, man, another person he reminded me of, bro, I said, man, kind of like Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
In terms of like that big, like you're too big to be that athletic, nimble type. Like he was giving me some of those vibes. But I'm saying to myself, like he's bigger than Cam. That's why for me, I'm like, I like him. I can see that as well, man. Because if we're going to like Jordan, Travis can give me, I feel like the same thing. Yeah. And I feel like in terms of the value part of it, you would get more value out of Travis just because you're going to play him a lot more And in terms of where you're going to draft him, you might be able to get him a little bit later than Jordan.
Yeah.
But I also
Saying
think,
second
bro,
or third.
just imagine if he's there and he actually gets Cam Hayward to coach him up. Think about that. Just like we know what Cam could do. Like imagine if Travis is working with him. Or even if Tua were to come back and we're like, well, you know, because both of these guys are older. One guy we probably think will retire in the next couple of years in terms of Cam, right? Probably next 3 years.
His best football of his career.
Yeah. But we know, like, it's like, all right, how many more years for that? And then with Tua, it's the big question mark. But at least you know we have our next guy waiting in the wings, you know?
Yeah. Second or third would be nice. What about Dean,
Yeah.
first round? Second round, maybe we get Tyndall, and then we get Jones in the third. How do you like that?
Well, what about our offensive lineman?
Free agency.
Well, okay. Oh, that's where you're going. 'Cause I was like, man, I remember
It's one or the other. I mean,
because remember last time we was in here, we was like, all right, we're gonna draft this lineman over here. We're gonna get Tyler Linderbaum in the first. Then we're gonna get King and Green. Then after that, we might pull up on Zion Johnson. Remember it was all that the other day.
we got to see what we do in free agency. Yeah, because our mock drafts will probably be way more clear after the free agency period, seeing what holes we filled with that.
Yeah, because right now we just don't know their direction.